coming down 42nd. We'll be on Broadway in a minute. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. As Mr. Rogers says, it's a beautiful day in your neighborhood, a beautiful day. Won't you be my neighbor? Like I said, I've been coming out here. Guys been coming out here for a number of years. It's getting hot, man. I might turn the AC on. I really shouldn't need the AC on 70 degrees, but that's because of this wind. So, as I was telling y'all earlier, Robbinsdale PD, they don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be real serious out here, if you with the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Close homie of mine, and he probably gonna be watching this because he was one of the people that requested a North Side Broadway. He caught a charge out here. I guess everybody calls me the historian, among my friends, because I always remember a lot of different things. But it was this block right here. Now this is West Broadway right here. And it's going to eventually have to turn. Now, I'm not going to go back the other way on Broadway. Eventually I will. But I won't do it today. So we're just going to do a brief walkthrough of what's going on here. Okay, you trying to park. All right. Okay. I got to stop here and get me some of that good top quality meat one of these days. Things are different, man. Like, I was having a discussion with somebody the other day. I said, okay, I'm making way more money than I used to make. I was paying way more rent than the mortgage I'm paying now. And I don't seem to be buying, I don't buy a lot of food. It don't seem like, so I'm like, damn, what's going on? Like, why is it, So I just want to show y'all. Now, my guy, I don't know where he got jammed up. I don't think it was right here. I don't know where it was. But I will say, either it's the next block over, or it's and he will remember this story. He will remember it. He gonna laugh when I say this story. But it was one of these apartments, and let me see if I can pull up on it. He almost got into a bang out. Matter of fact, it used to be right here. I think he stayed in this building right here, or I think it was this building, or it was a building somewhere over here. Actually, you know what? It wasn't that building. It was this building right here. It was this building. I think it was this building right here. If y'all look. Yeah, it was right over here. Bro stayed right here. 3848 Robin Hood Apartments. He stayed over there. And it's crazy because I told you I had a long nighter over there one time because I met some chick over there. And I don't even know. I think I took the 14 home, but bro almost had a bang out right over there. It was some red rags, And so, what stopped it is he said, "Well, hey man, he had to let him know, like I'm doing the same thing y'all doing. You need to announce yourself." He gonna be like, "Damn, DP, how do you remember that?" Come on, bro. I don't forget nothing, bro. Especially if somebody did me something. I don't forget nothing, bro. Especially if somebody did me something, bro. I don't forget nothing. Very rarely do I forget stuff. So I got to get back on Broadway. So these apartment buildings that I'm over here, see, I'm on the other side. I'm trying to get back on Broadway. This little Mai Tai place, I ain't never really rocked with that. I ain't really messed with it. I like Thai food. I like spicy food. But, it brings you back up. I see, okay. Damn, I ain't mean to come down here either. Okay. But yeah, he had a little situation where he had a little, he had a little argument. And the dudes was like, hey man, we'll leave you out here. Like it got to that. It got to an argument where they was talking about some, see, Yosemite Sam. They was on that Yosemite Sam. And he's like, man, I got that too. We could go out in the blaze of glory. And so I think as they talked a little more, they found out that, hey, we under the same flag here. And so he told them, like, man, y'all better announce yourselves. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Because this could have turned out bad for both of us. So that's just a little story on that block. Nobody was harmed. Well, DP, you saying too much. Man, nobody was harmed. Ain't nobody went to jail. Both parties went home peacefully, as they should, as black men should. So, man, I'm turning on the AC, man. I can't do this shit. I'm sorry. I'm turning the AC on. Yes, in November. 72 degrees. No. We're going back down Broadway, as I was telling y'all, that little Mai Tai place when I was coming up just a few seconds ago. We're going down Broadway. Off to the left, you see the beautiful lake. I'm not sure if I could go on the lake. I never really bothered. I mean, I can go on the lake, but I'm going to try to stay in the right lane for you guys most of this trip. And I'm going to try to go down Broadway as far as we can get to, what's that place called? They're going kind of slow. I might want to switch lanes. I'm going to go as far as Hennepin, because I want to try out that place. Bro got me together. Man, this AC stank, man. I'm going to turn this off. I'm wondering if I should just pause this for a second. I'm about to pause this. I'm not about to waste no. All right, we're back at it. And like I said, these videos are going to be getting better. As I told you, I'm going to keep on upgrading and keep on making the stories better. It probably ain't going to be too much brother chat with the drive-throughs. Like I said, somebody requested this. Hey, bro, you ought to do a Northside Broadway. You should do a Broadway. I might have a couple little stories here and there, and I'll go back and listen to it. If y'all hear some of the stories that you want to hear, I'll make the stories. I'll make them with brother chat. This is North Memorial Health. I think, I was going to say a homegirl, but like, there was a classmate. She was from Chicago. I think she works here. I think many years ago I seen it on her Facebook or something like that. I used to have a little crush on her during school. I'm not going to say who it was, but I think she works there, And somebody smoking some Kill Bill. Man, I don't partake anymore, but that smells good. Oh, yeah, it's window down. Yeah. On the Theodore Worth Parkway. That's a big park. We're entering Minneapolis. They say City of Lakes. Low key, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I like the north side streets as opposed to the south side streets. Some people may beg to differ, and I'm from South Minneapolis, but I like the north side streets, a little better than this building right here. And it's crazy because these buildings came later. Man, I'm telling you, I had a little rule, man. I didn't really partake too much, man, in the north side that much. And it's not because north side is bad people. Actually, to be quite honest, people on the north side, black folks on the north side, are more down to earth than anybody. If you want to be real. Damn. He gonna let me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in. So this is 26th and West Broadway. 26th Avenue is a notorious area on the north side of Minneapolis. I think what they call, is it Tangletown? I think that's over to the right, as they call it Tangletown. I think so. I can't remember. It's been so long. I don't just willy-nilly be riding over North Philly like that. I mean, a lot be going on, and you for the most part you be okay. But I'm just letting you know, anything can crack. That was the mentality we had coming from over south, going over north. And sometimes our friends will go over north, like I say, especially you picking up money or whatever like that, man. You would have to know, anything could crack. Penn Avenue, That's a very as y'all saw on the news, the RICO that occurred through what they call the highs and the lows. That's all around these parts where dudes was having problems with each other. The lower end, what they call the lows, would be back, I would say across the street, or not across the street, but across the Olson Memorial Highway. So when you get, I say below, I don't like being in this situation. Now I don't rock with this place. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. This Olympic Cafe, that's the roach spot. We don't mess with that. Niggas still be going over there. This new place right here, Collective Kitchens, Neon. I think that's new. Legendary Theater right here. I think they're gonna do something with that. I'm not sure, but that's been around for forever. Legendary. Houses still ain't necessarily the most cheapest. You still gonna get hit over the head where the bullets is flying. I told y'all that before. You still gonna get hit over the head where the bullets is flying a little bit. YMCA. Is that a Kia boy? Let me get about his way. Man, don't hit me, Kia boy. Kia boys have migrated over to St. Paul to a certain degree. I ain't seen a cop car yet. Not that I need to, but I'm just saying. I ain't seen a cop car yet. I'm about to bust a right, get in the lane over here by Popeyes. Shiloh Temple, of course. I'll go when they go here. Something wrong with the stoplight. Fremont of Broadway, that's a one-way. I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna go as far as Broadway as I can. Another day, what I'm gonna do is when next time I go get my hair cut on my own, I'm about to go Broadway all the way into Crystal. The last time I was up there with two of my guys, many years ago, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we do the most, man. We cracking jokes, we have some beer and stuff like that, and it was with me. It was me, Stack, and another guy. Sometimes we would do that, man. We would get together and we would go out to eat, and that was a thing that we used to do a lot. So it looks like, is that JJ open? Yeah, they open. Don't look open, but they open. Cookie Cart, Legendary. Got a braiding spot. American Indian place. They got a right here. This is a black-owned business. I think Sammy's Eatery is that there. So I'm gonna come get a sandwich one of these days. I think something happened to that guy. So I think the business is still there. We used to. Oh damn! Did I just pass Digital City? Digital City right here. Legendary. This building wasn't here. This Wells Fargo, it wasn't here when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that long ago, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, the Cub, the Northside Cub, they probably got all the good stuff, man, to eat. As far as like, seasonings and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go, every now and then I go over there. The Erder station off to your left, we on Lindale. Open Door, Minneapolis. I think that's like for, people that need help or whatnot. I used to meet right here. I used to go to the Subway when I used to work on West River Road. Dollar General and all that. That used to be a big hangout spot. You come over there, man, and dudes just be kind of just hanging out and all this, So, and they looking at you crazy. Wendy's, I've been to that Wendy's quite a few. I ain't gonna lie. I spent ample time here when I had friends that lived over here. I had a buddy named Mike. He still stay over there. And we used to go to his house and make beats on the MPC. I'm going to do a story about that, so y'all might want to mark that down, the MPC story. And so I used to go to his house and we make beats. Sometimes when I would dibble and dabble a little bit, I would have my customers, because see, that's the thing. I was never really trying to get real knee deep into, the drug thing. But if I have a little bit of weed here and there, I'm saying, somebody owe me some money and I'm like, hey, well, just give me that. I get it off. So sometimes I would, I would do that there. I would do that there. So I'm very, very familiar with this exit right here. This exit brings you straight over to the south side, and it keeps going. If you don't want to get off on Cedar Riverside, or you could take it to 35, go to Edina. Downtown Minneapolis off to your right, Washington Avenue off to your right, and also to your left. Very familiar with Washington Avenue. I've used it many a moon. There's a story that I'm probably going to make, but there's pending litigations. Some bum, dusty-ass Negroes, they pulled a caper. My guy was driving Uber maybe about like 4 or 5 months ago, and off to your left, these goofy-ass niggas, they didn't think to sit back and consider they've been on camera. West River Road off to your right and your left. I worked over here back in 2008. Off to your left, they got these apartment buildings where Broadway Pizza used to be. These goofy Negroes stole my homie's backpack, and I got the video, so I'm gonna put these lames on blast when the investigation is done. But he was thinking about. I said, well, okay, you were at work, bro, so you have a right to be safe while you're working. Report they dumb ass. I don't support. I really, really don't support Negroes that harm, or this ain't the streets. This man's working his job. I do not support Negroes that book a Uber drive and do some flanky stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, well, now we got to talk about, so let me tell y'all where my stance is. If the police arrested that nigga for doing that to my guy and beat the crap out of him, I'm not going to say Black Lives Matter. Okay? Ain't gonna be no Black Lives Matter. We don't support that, bro. If these dudes, they coming from folding them this and that and on gang and all. Okay, you from the streets. You don't mess with civilians. Yeah, you don't mess with civilians, bro. So we don't give you don't get a pass if something happens to you. Now, of course, we don't want the race soldiers to do nothing to you just simply because you're black. We can't co-sign that. But what we're not gonna do is, if they pull you over or they arrest you and beat the living crap out of you and maybe put a bullet in your ass, I'm not gonna cry no tears. We're not talking about an angel. We're not talking about somebody that went to work paying bills. We're talking about a dusty ass Uber robbery dude. So we're not doing that. We don't co-sign that at all. I told him go to the most racist police at the north side. Yes, I did. Because the north side ain't gonna do a damn thing. I said go to the northeast police. They can't stand niggas over there. Go to them. They gonna find out, because see, really, you could almost sue Uber for something like that. Well, I don't know if you could sue them, but okay, now this Broadway, Northeast 2nd, I've always liked this little area. These over here somewhere, there was a black-owned business. They get sold it. The name was Slice Minneapolis. I think they're over here somewhere. Back over here by the McDonald's where I was doing that laptop thing for the dude. Many a moon, me and my homie Osbu, we would leave Gabby's, come over here to Speedway. Y'all know about how Gabby's was. You ain't had to dress a certain way. I'm not gonna say folks they weren't necessarily dusty. It just wasn't, come one, come all. Anybody could kind of fall up in there, and you gonna see some nice little chocolate things from Gary, Indiana, and and stuff like that. It's a hood club. It's a down to earth club on New Year's Eve. And see, Gabby's I think was free, but I think it was free. But New Year's Eve, you pay like $10. Now for the uppity Negroes who want to go downtown, you gonna pay $30, $40, $50 on New Year's Eve or whatever. We went up in there New Year's Eve, and I think it was like $10 to get in, or $7. It was nothing. I wasn't driving at that time either. I was gonna ride with him. You know what I'm saying? But we go there, we play pool, get some little wings or whatever they got, and you pick up something. If you're in a pinch, you go to Gabby's. And every now and then you might strike out with something, but I'm just being honest, man. You know, like, but then here's the thing. You know, you get your beluga whales up in there too. But there might have been a couple of them that look pretty damn good. They put together, but most of the time, man, you get a beluga whale with a big old wig and the Wolverine claws, and you know, that's, you know. But you know, like I say, you know, some dudes, it wasn't for me. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I can do a little better than that. But in a pinch, you get a dude and he, you know, his money ain't really too right, and she open and ready. Because she ain't going downtown. She going to Gabby's. That's my point. So we going down Broadway. We still on Broadway. Making our way. Ain't really too much I could tell y'all beyond this. I mean, I could kind of, you know, I don't know. There's really not a lot for me to really say. One thing I could tell you is I never really messed with this park over here. We messed with Van Cleve. That's southeast. That's a little ways from here. It's not really, really far, but it's a ways. You know what I'm saying? Monroe Street. The houses you could tell they're kind of old. Remember I told y'all that story where black folks couldn't live in certain places over Northeast. Like right here on Central. You couldn't come past Central. You understand me? You couldn't come past Central. You could not come past Central. I actually spoke at a school one of my guys went to. It was, man, what school was that? Damn, what school was that, man? Edison? Yeah, I went to Edison. Yeah, it was Edison. They was kind of showing their ass a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. They was kind of showing their ass. Them kids, they was just kind of letting them, I'm trying to tell them about tech and all that, and, you know, as guests. So I had to kind of tell the teachers. You had all these little white liberal teachers, and just the way that they talked to me and handled me, I didn't really particularly care for it. But all I can say is this is, you know, Central. I like Central. I've always liked Central. I made a little money going towards Central, or I had my little escapades, will be involved in, you know, being over Northeast off Central and Hennepin, and you know what I'm saying? So what I want to do right now is I want to take this to Hennepin. We're still on Broadway. There's nothing much else. Here's a park over to your right. Fillmore Street coming up. There's not a lot to say about this side of Broadway. Far as, you know, any action or anything really going on. I mean, it's the neighborhood, as you could see, it's not the most top tier neighborhood, but it ain't ran down. And, you know, you could tell people, they really didn't put a lot of money into the, you know, they didn't put a lot of money into it. But it's not, like I say, it's not super beat up. It's just, well, it's just old. You know what I'm saying? But this is Northeast Buchanan Street. Now this Johnson Street. Man, where the hell is Hennepin, man? I think I still got to go up a ways. Or I might just bust a left. Because where I'm trying to go, it was more towards downtown. It's more towards downtown. So I want to go to this barbecue spot and see what they got. Give it a little review. Give an honest review, honest take. Let's see if it's black owned. If the barbecue's good, the barbecue's good. But, you know, I want to try to make a best effort. I was going to go on 38th, but that's back over south. I could still do it. But I wanted to go on 38th and go to Smoke in the Pit if this didn't work. But then that crunches me for time. It's 3 o'clock right now. So I'm going to pause this video. There's nothing else to say about Broadway, and I'm going to try to get on, well, let's see here. Because I think Hennepin, let me think. Hennepin goes into Larpenteur. Or, no, Larpenteur goes into Hennepin. If you're on Larpenteur, that's New Brighton Boulevard. So that ain't what I want. I want Larpenteur, which should bring me all the way to Hennepin. It cuts off into Hennepin. Nothing on Broadway, really. The only time that I could tell, I don't even know if it's much of a story, but I knew some lady that worked over here. You know, I mean, just for sake of, they did some remodeling right here, like condominiums and stuff. Stinson Boulevard. So yeah, we still ain't on Larpenteur yet. We're not on Larpenteur yet. Quite frankly, I think I passed it up. I didn't think I did, but maybe, because this place is kind of over by downtown. Let me pause this and let me get back on track, y'all.